who was also pretty handsome. And well, what happens is that the king was just in that area, and he got really in love with her. So Madalasa was not likely to marry, but somehow she was forced by the king to accept that conditions, and at that point she put some condition too. So she told, well, it isn't really not my wish to marry, but if you want me to marry, then I will take care of the responsibility of the education of my children. So the king said, "Complementary, fantastic, so we can marry." And Madalasa told him, "Yes, okay, until this condition will be okay, I will stay in the marriage." Now, marriage went on, and of course their children. And the first children, since he was just in the womb, Madalasa took care of him, and yes, in a very, very special way. So she was lullaby him with a very sweet song, whose meaning was, please remember, you are not part of this world. You are just pure, you are just immaculate, you are completely innocent. And this is what I can tell you. Well, this was a kind of incantation that she was using, and in the end it went well, in the sense that when this child was born and then brought up, slowly he was so detached from the world that when he became in mature age, he decided to go to the forest and not to stay in the palace, and to become basically a renunciate. Now, did that with the first son. Then again she had another son. And with the second son, of course, it happened the same thing. So he also left for the forest, and the king started to worry because he said, what is going on? Here is a big problem. And if all the children that are born that are going to be renunciated, I will be without an heir, and I will have some difficulty. So he went actually to Madalasa and said, well, I really don't accept anymore this fact that you are teaching what you are teaching. I don't know, but it is not giving good fruits. So from now on, I will take care of the education of your children. Madalasa said, okay, fine. But remember, that was the condition. So if you want to take care of the education of the children, I'm free from the marriage, and please excuse me, I'm also going to the forest. Well, that was a big setback for the king, but somehow that was the condition. Here we are talking about a time when the world was, that's it, so means everything was for one word. Well, the king started to teach the young heir, the third son, and actually he did wrong from the beginning. So instead of giving a good name, he called this son Alarca. Alarca means mad dog. And he was brought up as a mad dog. Actually, he was really incredible. And at the time that actually he became king, he was ruthless. So the people of the kingdom couldn't really accept him, and they went to the forest looking for the other brothers, telling, please come back, save us, because this is just beyond our capacity to handle this person. So these renunciates told, well, we are renunciates, so we don't know what to do and how to do. So they approached another king, and they basically tried to overthrow Alarca. Now the fish, I don't know exactly how they went, because history also has its own thoughts and this and that. But somehow Alaka was in dire straits, so he had a lot of problems because he was attacked and the people in the kingdom were not supporting him. So he remembered an advice that Madalasa gave him before leaving for the forest. She gave actually an amulet, and inside this amulet, this necklace, she put a piece of paper. And when Alaka was in that condition, she remembered what Madalasa told her. You see, if you are really in trouble, open it. He opened it. Well, he found a piece of paper. He read the piece of paper, and it was written, leave alone. And if you can't leave alone, look for the company of the sages. Alright, and definitely Alaka was in such a condition where he couldn't leave alone. So he decided to go and look for his brothers. So he went to the forest and he found his brothers. And the brothers actually took care of him, and also the master of the brothers, that was Astabakra, and he took care of him. So slowly he was brought on the right path. He was really re-educated basically on being a good person. So at that point they told me, well, you are a family person, you have to go back to your duty. So he went back to his duty, and actually he could save the kingdom and save his people. Now, what is the moral of the story? What is it actually all about? And there was a question that was asked also at the time of telling this story that is so educational. It is, what is the best culture in this? Best culture means that which is the person that gave the best example. Now, we have to say that everybody was great. There is no point. Everybody was honoring what is called morality. It means they were faithful for their word and they are doing their duty. But for sure, Madalasa was a saint. So no matter what, she behaved according to her standard. Also, the first and second son got a very good education. So they also behaved in a very nice way. The king, good or bad, that was his role. And he was very good in his role. He didn't change somehow his standing. But who really stand out and outperform is Alaka, because he was able to reform himself in spite of the bad education that he received. So that is what is an example of society. In society, certainly there are good people, certainly there are saints, and certainly there are also bad people and really evil and criminal people. So those bad people who was able to take a good path and join the company of good people and reform their faith, well, they are to be praised. They are really to be considered the best example for society. Now, just to end this story, for me is very important. The first time that I heard it was in India. It was by a saint, actually. And I was just in the company of a Japanese boy. And this saint that I was visiting, he kept us waiting and waiting, and we couldn't understand for what reason. We wanted to have some spiritual talk with him, but he was keeping waiting with many excuses. He was offering maybe a biscuit or some tea or whatever, but he was not at all, how to say, disclosing his treasure. And this lasted at least for 1 hour that we were somehow hanging until this friend, this Japanese friend, saw some people just playing soccer, and he went playing soccer. And when I remained with this saint, after some time, finally I was invited to his room. And then, finally, when I was really on the point that I was also going away because I couldn't understand what was the fuss about it, he started to tell this story. And my mind was really ready to get it fully. So I really mastered it, and as a matter of fact, maybe that story influenced the course of the life that I have taken.